कमलाङ्क पीतासमारोपितवामभागम् पाणौ महासायकचारुचापम् नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम् अतुलितबलधामम् हेमशैलाभदेहं धनुजवनकृशानं ज्ञानिनाम् अग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणाम् अधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातं नमामि। नमः श्री तुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन राम प्रेमामृतेन। Okay, so we are seeing what Lord Shivji is telling Parvati, and we are where he is concluding the whole story that he was narrating to Shivji. So now we have to go after 126. So I'm not going to give you an introduction. So we'll just go directly to that. So after 126, let's go ahead and chant the Chopais, and then we'll see the meaning. Okay. So ye sarvagya guni score. Sorry. सोई सर्वज्ञ गुणी सोई ज्ञात सोई महि मंडित पंडित दाता धर्म परायण सोई कुल त्राता रामचरण जाकर मन रात नीति निपुण सोई परम सयान श्रुति सिद्धांत नीकिते सोई कवि कोविद सोई रणधीरा जो छल छाड़ी बजई रघुबीरा धन्य देश सो जहाँ सुरसरी धन्य नारी पतिव्रत अनुसारी धन्य सो भूप नीति जो करई धन्य सो द्विज निज धर्म नटरई शोधन धन्य प्रथम गति जाकी धन्य पुण्य रतमति सोई पाकी धन्य घरी सोई जब सतसंग धन्य जन्म द्विज भगति अभंगा सो कुल धन्य उमा सुनु जगत पूज्य सुपुनीत श्री रघुवीर परायण जय नर उपज विनीत सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय उमापति बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. Lord Shiva wanted it twice time. Okay, so here Lord Shiva continues and he says, who is this righteous person, the virtuous person actually in this world? So he's telling, Soi Sarvagya Guni Soi Gyata Soi Mahi Mandita Pandita Data. So Soi Sarvagya, that person who is considered as all knowing, Sarvagya, and Guni Soi, who is all virtuous, and Gyata, the man of knowledge, the man of learning. Soi Mahi Mandita Pandita. So he is the greatest scholar, Pandita, and he is also Mandita Pandita means he is an ornament to all these to this world because he knows everything. So that is Mandita Pandita. And Data, he is the one who is the giver of a Dharma Parayana Soyikula Trata Ramacharana Jakara Manarata. So he alone can be considered as the most righteous person, Dharma Parayana, who follows the Dharma. Kulatrata, he is the savior of the family. Then who is that? The one Ramacharana Jakara Manarata, the one whose mind ever takes delight in the worship, revels only to Sri Ramchandraji's feet here. But in the world, what do we see? So there is this Subhashita in the that says, Yasyasti Vittam sa narah kulinaha sa panditaha sa shrutavan gunagnaha sa eva vakta sa darshaniyaha sarve guna kanchanam ashrayanti. Okay, so most of you understood what it means, right? So the man who has the wealth, Yasyasti Vittam, the one who has lot of wealth, okay, sa naraha, that man, kulinaha, so he is a high born, okay, and sa panditaha, he is the one who knows everything, sa shrutavan, the one who can like erudite person, and then gunagnaha, he is all good charactered person, sa eva vakta, he alone is the one who can an orator, the orator, sa darshaniyaha, he is the one who is handsome also, if you have the money. Sarve guna kanchanam ashrayanti. So everything depends on the money. So, that is a subhashita, that is in the world, that is what it is. But here, Bhagavan is telling, truly speaking about the devotion, a person, is the one who, all these the characters that he said, he can be this, he can be this, he can be this, but in the end, who is the real the sarvagna, the righteous person who has total devotion to the feet of Sri Ramchandra ji. Niti nipuna soyi paramasayana shruti siddhanta nikita hi jana. And continuing, he says paramasayana. Sayana means very intelligent person. So Parama means most intelligent person, or you can say an understanding person. Niti Nipuna, the one who is, always conducting himself according to the dharma, the proper way. His behavior is the very good. And only he is the person who can understand the very essence of this Vedanta also. He is Shruti, Siddhanta, Nikitehi Jana. That person alone who can understand the essence of Vedanta, tattva of Vedanta, that person alone. And then soyi kabi kobida soyi ranadhira, jochala chadi bajayi raghuvira. So that person is kabi. Kabi means a poet. So actually in Sanskritam, if you take the kabi word, it says krantikari. The one who has, this the Vedantic thoughts. That's the one who is considered as the Kavi here. So here you can take it as a great poet, because Sri Ramchandra, Sri Ramayana is written in a poetic way and all. And Kobida, that is Bhashyakara, and what is it? Soyi Ranadhira. So he alone is the man of valor in the battlefield also. Jo Chala Chadi Bajayi Raghuvira, the one who worships Sri Ramchandra ji without any utter motiveness. Like, if I do this one, are you going to give me this? No, I just want to pray to you. I just want to have devotion to you because I love you. That's that person. Okay, so the one who worships Sri Ramchandra ji with a pure heart. And then he says, Dhanya Desa. So, Jahan Surasari, Dhanya Nari Pativrata Anusari. Dhanya Desa. Desa is in a place, like a country or whatever you want to take it. So even that country or even that place is Dhanya, it is blessed. So Jahan Surasari, where Surasari is Ganga river. Where the Ganga flows, that country is blessed. So, and then it says, Dhanya Nari Pativrata Anusari. So, blessed indeed is that woman who is Pativrata and who is chaste and follows her husband. So, one might ask, what is so great about Ganga river? Okay, of course, we have all heard about this story of Ganga. She is from the heavens, she comes down, and Lord Shiva holds it in his jata and then lets it go, and all the story we also know. But another thing is about Ganga. It is written in the Shastras. It says, Yoso Sarvagato Vishnu Chit Swarupi Niranjanaha Saeva Dravarupena Gangambo Natra Samshayaha. So it says, Lord Vishnu, who is all knowing, okay, Chit Swarupi, and Niranjana, the one who is very, very pure, and Sarvagato Vishnu, the one who is spread everywhere. That means, he is pervading the whole universe. Sa Eva, he himself, that Lord Vishnu himself, Dravarupena, in the form of a fluidity, Gangambo. So he is the fluidity in the Ganga river. Okay, na atra samshaya. There is no doubt about this one. So Lord Vishnu himself, he's flowing like Ganga river. So that is the greatness of the Desha, the country where Ganga river flows here. So that's why, we say Ganga, Ganga Jalalava Kanika Pita. Bhajgovindam it says, So even if you want, if you can have just a drop of Ganga Jal, that is so sacred. So I guess that is the reason, even when the people are dying, they want to give a drop of Ganga water in their mouth. At least now, you be purified now. So that's the greatness he's telling. So धन्य सो भूप नीति जो करई धन्य जो द्विज निज धर्मन तरई. So धन्य सो Bhupa is the king. So blessed indeed is that king who is niti jo karai, who knows how to rule over the kingdom. It's not only rule, but he should be very compassionate person also, who should care for his subjects also. And if you have that kind of a king in a place, that place is dhanya, and the king is also dhanya. Okay, and dhanya jo dvija nija dharmana tarai, and blessed are those Brahmins who, whatever comes, they are not going to give up their dharma. It says dharmana tarai. Even the death might come, but they don't, move from their dharma. In our history, we have seen so many times, like some of the times, when people wanted to convert them and all, so at that time they say, no, you can kill, but we won't change the dharma. I read about this person who has written the history of India, real history, not the history that we studied when we were in the school, not that one. There he has written, it seems, I have not read it, but I have heard about that one, that in Kerala, the Christians, they came in so many numbers. They came and they wanted to convert all the people into Christianity, and people were there, Brahmanas and all that, they would not. And so they were given like they had to pay some amount, like a 1 lakh gold coins or something like that, not to get being converted. And these people, they agreed and they signed this paper and said, no, we are not going to convert, and somehow we are going to pay this one. Okay. And so at one time, some of these people who had signed, they got caught in something. And so the whoever was the ruler there, or the Muslim or the British king was there, they wanted to kill us. Said, no, 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 no. These are the people who have signed. And these Hindus, once they sign, even if they have to die, they will die, but they will pay that thing. That much of dharma was there, at that time. So, dhanya, so dvija nija dharmana tarayi. Those, the dvija, the brahmanas who don't waver, they never waver from their dharma, even if they are threatened with the death there. So dhanya pratamagati jaki dhanya punyarata mati soyi paki. So blessed is that wealth, dhana, which is spent in the first method. So what do you mean by first method? There are 3 ways money can be spent. Okay, so when a person earns acquires the wealth, it is first way is dana. He can give it for the charity. Second one is bhoga, that is for our own pleasure. And the third one is perishing the wealth. And so here, so that person who craves for the money, either he should use it for himself and he doesn't use it, then what happens? His money perishes. So dana, bhoga, and nasha. So here when he is talking about pratama gati jaki, sodana dhanya pratama gati jaki. So the money is actually blessed, that money is blessed, which is used for dana, which is used for the charity here. Dhanya punya rata mati soyi paki. So dhanya, the blessed is that mati, that is that intellect, that buddhi is dhanya, which is always reveling in punya, punya rata. So that means it's always reveling in the punya karmas, pious karmas. Intellect always, I want to do this for the good people, I want to do this help, I want to do something, even for yourself only. Okay. but it's a pious act. I don't want to tell any lies. I want to be compassionate, even for your own self. So the one that the intellect is dhanya, which is always thinking about the righteous acts here. And then dhanya ghari soi jabasata sanga. Ghari means gadi, the moment. Okay, that moment is blessed when which is spent in satsanga. And then dhanya janma dvija bhagati abhanga. So, and blessed is the birth of the dvija, that brahmana whose bhakti is abhanga, that is unwavering. Okay, it is just concentrated. Okay, and sokula dhanya uma sunu. So Lord Shiva says, that blessed indeed is that kula, is that family. Jagata dhanya jagata puja supunita, and worthy of adorations in this for the whole world. Shri Raghuvira Parayana Jehi Nara Upaja Binita. So if a child is born, a boy or a daughter is born who is pure hearted in a family and is full of humility and devotion to Bhagavan, that family is dhanya. So that's what he is saying it. And continuing, मति अनुरूप कथा मई भाषि यद्यपि प्रथम गुप्त करि राखी तब मन प्रीति देखी अधिकाई तब मई रघुपति कथा सुनाई यह न कहीं असट ही सट सीलहि जो मन लाई न सुन हरि लीलहि कही न पुलिहि कामिहि जो न भजहि सचराचर स्वामी द्विजद्रोही न सुनाई अकबहु सुरपति सरिस होई नृप जबहु राम कथा के तई अधिकारी जिनके सतसंगति अति प्यारी गुरपद प्रीति नीति रत जोई द्विज सेवक अधिकारी तेई ताकह यह विशेष सुखदाई जाहि प्राण प्रिय श्री रघुराई राम चरण रति जो चह अथवा पद निर्वाण भाव सहित सो यह कथा करऊ श्रवण पुट पान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय मति अनुरूप कथा में भाषी यद्यपि प्रथम गुप्त कर राखी. So Lord Shiva is telling, that he created this Ramayana, but Gupta Kari Rakhi, he kept it for himself. So he kept it in his own mind. He did not tell anybody. Why? Because he did not find a fit person to whom he can say the story. This lady looking for something. Oh, okay, they are students. Okay. Okay. So see, even if you take Parvati ji, he's telling the story for Parvati ji. Why are you saying there was no proper adhikari? Because Parvati as a sati, she was not a fit person. So because she doubted Sri Ramchandra ji. So he did not tell the story to her, to Sati, but only when she became Parvati, when she wanted to hear that thing came from her only. It's not like Shivaji says, come here, I'll tell you this story. So that is why he kept it is in his mind only. He never shared with anybody. Jadyapi pratama gupta kari rakhi. So he is telling, I kept it in my own gupta as a secret. Tava mana preeti dheki adhikai. And then he's saying, then when I saw your love, okay, so much love that you showed it for listening to the story, tabamai Raghupati katha sunai. So then I started sharing this story with you. Yahana kahiya satahi hata silahi jomana lahana sunuhari lilahi. So here it says, to whom this story should not be said. So now he's giving. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in the end, for these people, you should not tell this knowledge, you should not give it to him. So here, Lord Shiva is telling to whom you should not tell this Ramayana Katha. So to a sata means a foolish person or a wicked person. So you should not yahana kahiya. So don't tell this to a sata. And also hatasilahi means a stubborn, a fanatic person, a person who believes only in his own ishta devata, who does not believe in any other gods. Okay, so that one. So don't tell him that because if he's a fanatic. Jomana lahana sunahari lalihi. And also this is nice. So people who sit for harikatha, okay, so they say, okay, let me go to harikatha and let me listen to it, and they sit there, just for a few minutes the mind will be with there, and then the mind goes everywhere. So you keep looking at all the people who just walk in and say what are they wearing and what are they eating and things like that. So mana lahana, so where the mind is not there, where the people's mind is not there into the katha, don't tell them that. It's just a waste of time. That's all it is. कही अन लोभी क्रोधि कामहि जो न bhajayi sacharachara swamihi. So, and don't tell to lobhi, that greedy person, or krodhi, or the angry person, or kamahi, who is a lustful person. So because even if you tell them, they are not going to appreciate it, because they are not interested in that one. So don't tell them that. Jona bhajayi, and also the one who does not respect, who does not worship the Sacharachara Swamihi, the Lord of the universe, Chara and Achara, moving and not stagnant, this whole world, the Lord of this whole world. Dvijadrohahi na sunayu kabahu, Surapati Sarisa hoyi nrupa jabahu. So Surapati Sarisa hoyi nrupa jabahu. So even if there is a person, a king like Indra, okay, in stature, in power or glory, dvijadrohahi. So if he is has no devotion for the Brahmana, to that person, na kahiya. So don't tell that, tell to that person. Then whom shall we, to whom this should be said? Okay, so he says, Rama katha ke tayi adhikari, jinke satasangati ati pyari. So that person is adhikari. He is the right person to get this Ramakatha, Sri Ramcharitamanas, who has love for satsang, who loves satsang, who loves to, we have seen what is satsang and all that, company of the saints, company of the good books, company of, the even the elders, who are giving you good advice and telling you things proper, that leads you in the proper way in your life. So all that is satsang. Satsang doesn't mean it's only with the saints. Okay, satsang can be anywhere that is good for your life. Okay, so the one who loves satsang, okay, to that person you can give. Guru pada priti niti rata jayi dvija sevaka adhikari teyi. So the one who is the dvija sevaka, so the servant of a Brahmana, also who is Gurupada Preeti, the one who has love for the feet of his Guru, and Niti Rata Jayi, is the one who follows the norms of the world, of a good conduct, who follows what is right thing to do, and and he stays away from the wrong things. So that person, ताकः यह विशेष सुखदायी जाहि प्राण प्रिय श्री रघुराई. And that person is the most fittest person who loves Lord Sri Ramchandra ji like his own life, prana priya. So sometimes you can say it is more than his love, I mean more than his life, he loves Bhagavan. So that is the right person to whom you should share this knowledge here. So Guruji says Bharata, for him, Ramji was not just prana, it is more than prana also. But still, he was not the adhikari for the listening to the Ramayana. What was the adhikari for? He was the adhikari to propagate Rama. Okay, in one place we saw in Sri Ramcharitamanas, who is Lakshmana? Lakshmana is like the flagpole, and Sri Rama is the flag. So Lakshmana stays there to make sure that Bhagavan's kirti is, fluttering everywhere. So like that. So Ramacharana rati jochaha athava pada nirban bhava sahita so yaha kata karavu shravana putapana. So the putapana, that the one who loves to hear through his ears. So anyone who wants the devotion to the feet of Sri Ramchandra ji, or if he wants pada nirbana, he wants the moksha liberation. So that means both kinds of seekers who are saguna bhaktas, the people who worship the different idols of God, or nirguna jnanis. So for both kinds of seekers, what should they do? Should listen to this Ramakatha. How? With bhava sahita, with total love. With there should be that what you call that one, like a bhakti bhava. Yeah, yeah, like fondly. Yeah, fondly. Yeah, it's not like just listen and then let it go. So you should have that love to listen. So if you want bhakti, you will get bhakti. If you want mukti, you will get mukti when you listen to it with bhava. And you see, and one more point Guruji was telling, when he says adhikari here, the fit person, we should never judge other people. Is this the right person or not? Okay. Even if you think, this is not the right person, you just keep it in your mind. Because there are many people whom we see only the outside. We don't know what is in their heart. So we should never judge anybody. And also when you are sharing this knowledge of Sri Ramcharitamanas, you should share it according to their understanding. You should not show off your panditya. For example, all of us learned Ramayana as children as a story. But as we grow up, we want to know the symbolism, what is the tattva that is there, and all that. So you cannot fix a particular adhikari. So in everyone is an adhikari at a different stage. So we should never judge people, who should go, who to whom we should be giving this Ramakatha. So next one. राम कथा गिरिजामय बरने कलिमल समनि मनोमल हरने संस्कृति रोग सजीवन मूरी राम कथा गावहि श्रुति सूरी यही महरुचिर सप्त सोपान रघुपति भगति केर पंथान अति हरि कृपा जाहि पर होई पाऊ देई यही मार्ग सोई मन कामना सिद्धि नर पावा यह कथा कपट तजि गावा कहीं सुनहि अनुमोदन करहि ते को पद इव भवनिधि तरहि सुनि सब कथा हृदय अति भाई गिरिजा बोली गिरा सुहाई नाथ कृपा मम गत संदेह राम चरण उपजेहु नवनेह मयि कृत कृत्य भयउ अब तव प्रसाद विश्वेश उपजी राम भगति दृढ़ बीते सकल कलेस सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. So Lord Shiva continues, like when you have love for something, you want to keep on talking about it. So even though Lord Shiva has finished telling the whole story, but he's still talking about Sri Ramcharitamanas here. So he says, Ramakatha Girijamai Bharani. Oh Girija, I have Bharani, I have described the whole Sri Ramakatha to you. Which one is Kalimala Samani Manomala Harani? So which is the remover of the mala, the impurities of Kali Yuga, and also Manomala Harani, the impurities of even the mind also it removes. That Ramakatha I have described to you. Samsruti Roga Sajivana Muri Ramakatha Gavahi Shruti Sori. So this Ramakatha is like Sanjivana. that is like this the saving drug, so Hanumanji brought the Sanjeevan Parvat, like that. And so that means, Samsruti Roga, it removes all kinds of disease of samsara, of this worldly difficulties and worldly diseases. It removes. Ramakatha Gavahi Shruti Suri, and even the Shruti, the Vedas, and the Suri is the seers. They also sing this Ramakatha. Yehi Maha Ruchira Sapta Sopana Raghupati Bhagati Kera Pantana. So he says, I have told you this, there are 7 steps to this. Sri Ramcharitamanas, you should imagine like that Manasa Leka, Manas, Sri Ramcharitamanas. It's a lake, and there are 4 ghats where you can get into that water. And at each ghat, there are 7 steps to dip completely into that lake, into that water. And so we have seen it at different ghats. There are one who is telling the story, and then there is one who is listening to the story also. So here, on one ghat, on Gnana Ghat, that is Lord Shiva is telling the story to Parvati. Okay, so here, so Lord Shiva is telling that, that to go into the deep, to have a dip, there are 7 steps. Okay, that is what kind of steps? Beautiful steps. That's why he says Ruchira Sopana. So there are 7 steps. So he's saying these are the 7 beautiful steps to get into the lake of Ramakatha and Raghupati Bhagati Kera Panthana. So when Raghupati Bhagati, to get this devotion of Sri Ramachandraji, and these are the, when you read them, you are definitely going to get that bhakti here. Ati Hari Krupa Jahi Para Hoyi, Pavu Deyi Yehi Maraga Soyi. So only that person who is the recipient of what? Ati Hari Krupa. Not just the blessings of Bhagavan, but Ati Krupa, extreme grace. The one who gets this, has this extreme grace, or the greatest grace of Bhagavan, that person alone is able to walk this path. Jahi Parahoyi, Pavu Teyi Yehi Maraga Soyi. So, but what happens to us? Many times we get bored. Whatever we start, we are very good in the beginning, and after a while, we get slowly. It's just like our exercises. So we start with full energy. I'm going to lose this much weight. I'm going to do this one, and you will do it. You will do it for 7 to 10 days, and then it's I think slow down a little bit, like that. So. Manakamana Siddhi Narapava Jayah Kata Kapatatachi Gava. So those who tell this story or sing, okay, here it says Kamana Siddha Narapava Yah Kata Kapatataji Gava. The one who sings this story, giving up all this kapata, deceit, all kinds of deceit. Manakamana Siddhi Narapava. That person will have his wishes fulfilled. Okay, so you can say this is one of the results of sharing your knowledge with other people. So Bhagavan is saying, oh, you are doing my work, so let me bless you. Like that. It's and then kahi sunahi anumodana karahi te gopada iva bhavanidhi tarahi. So those people who kahi, who tell this Ramakatha, or sunahi, or those people who listen to this Ramakatha, or anumodana karahi, they support it, organize it. Just like in Bhagavatam, it is said in the beginning, the person who organizes the Bhagavat Saptah, he might not even listen even one day to that story, but he organizes everything, make sure that people are comfortable, and the mic system is working, everything. Even he gets the same amount of punya, just like listening to the Bhagavatam. So this is what here is saying, Anumodana Karahi. So supports it. The who organizes this, like we have this Sri Ramcharitamanas Akhanda Parayan and things like that. So even people who organizes those what happens to them? Te Gopada Iva Bhavanidhi Tarahi. Gopada, you are the cow. in a wet mud, when it walks, it will make a one impression. Okay, how big is that one? So for this person who does either tells the story, listens to the story, or supports the story, for that kind of a person, it is as easy as crossing over this Gopada, this whole Bhava Sansara. So it becomes that easy. So because Bhagavan blesses you, say you are doing my work. Even like even Bhagavad Gita, we say that, yada yada hi dharmasa glanir bharata. So their Guruji also says, it doesn't mean that, that Bhagavan comes to take care of only the people who are following the dharma, to make sure that, this dharma continues. But he says, even the people who support it, even the people, help to print the books, even the people who give away the books, even the people who organizes the Gita Jnana Yagnas. So like that, even here also, he's talking about the people who support it. For them, it is so easy to cross over this Bhava Samsara, just like crossing over the Gopada. Okay. Suni sab kata hrudaya ati bhai, girija boli gira suhai. So now listening to this katha, Parvati ji was very, very fulfilled. Hrudaya ati bhai. She was completely like a delighted in her heart, and girija boli. And Parvati ji said, gira suhai. And she said beautiful, sweet words at that time. And she said, Nata Krupa Mama Gata Sandeha Ramacharana Upajavu Nava Neha. So she says, O Lord, Nata, by your grace, all my Sandehas, all my doubts are Gata. They are already vanished. It's not there anymore. And also Ramacharana Upajavu Nava Neha. And new love for the feet of Sri Ramachandra ji, has risen in my heart. My कृतकृत्य भयवो अबो तव प्रसाद विश्वेश उपजी Rama Bhagati Drida Bite Sakala Kalesa. So Vishvesa, that means, the Lord of the universe. She is addressing Lord Shiva, and she says, by your grace, I'm fulfilled. Because Tava Prasada, because of your Prasada, I am Krutakritya Bhayavu. So I have become fulfilled. So, and then Upaji Rama Bhagati Drida Bite Sakala Kalesa. So this, the fact that, that abiding love has risen in my heart. Okay, so this is Parvati is telling, all the kalesha, the klesha, all the afflictions and sorrows have gone away and have become krutakrutya, totally fulfilled at this time. So here you can see, here ends the conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati. So we have already finished Kakabhushandi and Garudji. Okay, so two are over. So other two were Yagnavalkya and Bharadwaja Muni, and the other one is Tulsidas ji. Okay, so now here we'll see where this Yagnavalkya thing. Now we will see in the next 4 lines. It is the conversation between Yagnavalkya and Bharadwaj is getting over, but the name of the people are not given here. But by the way it is said, you can understand. So this is the one. So Tulsidas ji, of course, he's talking to us, talking to his mind and all that. So when he finishes the book, then he is finished, right? So now is the third one, the third ghat where the katha is going on. So let us see the next one. यह शुभ शंभु उमा संवाद सुख संपादन समन विषाद भव भंजन गंजन संदेह जन रंजन सज्जन प्रिय एह राम उपासक जे जग माहि यही सम प्रिय तिन के कछु नाही रघुपति कृपा जतामति गावा मैया पावन चरित सुहावा राम साधन दूजा जोग यज्ञ जप तप व्रत पूजा राम ही सुमिरऊ पाई राम ही संतत सुनिय राम गुण ग्राम ही जासुपति पावन बड़बाना गावही कभी श्रुति संत पुराण, ताहि बजहि मन तजि कुटिलाई, राम भजे गति के ही नहीं पाई. So we'll stop there and then we'll go to the chant later, okay? यह शुभ शंभु उमा संवाद सुख संपादन samana vishada. So here Yagnavalka Rishi, he is telling Bharadwaja, so this holy dialogue between Lord Shiva and Uma Parvati, Sukha Sampadana Samana Vishada. It is the remover of all the kinds of sorrows and gives the Sukha Sampadana. It is the giver of all happiness. Bhava Bhanjana Ganjana Sandeha Jana Ranjana Sajjana Priya Heva. Bhava Bhanjana, so remover of this samsara. Ganjana Sandeha, so dispeller of all kinds of doubts. Jana Ranjana, the one it delights the human beings. Sajjana Priya Eha, it's very, very dear to the virtuous people, good people. Rama Upasaka Jay Jagamahi, Yehi Samapriya Tinike Kachunahi. And so those people, those who are the worshippers, Upasaka of Sri Ramachandraji, for them there is nothing dearer than this one. Raghupati Krupa Jatamati Gava. So now he is telling, so as much as I know, according to my understanding, I have sung this Ramakatha here. Mayaha Pavana Charita Suhava. So I have narrated this story to you, this sacred story. So here you see there are no names at all. So you can tell, so okay, we have to finish all four the ghats, right? So you have to give this one to Yagnavalkya and Bharadwaja Muni. So Yagnavalkya Muni is the one who is telling the story of Rama, and Bharadwaja Muni is the one who is listening. So if you remember, when this conversation was going on in the middle, Lord Shiva comes with Parvati to listen to that one also. So that one we saw it in the Ramcharitamanas. And so now, Yehi Kali Kalana Sadhana Duja Jog Jagya Japatapa Vrata Puja. So now you can say Tulsidas is talking. Now, so we can finish it up with Yagnavalkya and Bharadwaja Muni, or you can say a few more lines has been said by Yagnavalkya Muni also. Since there is no name, we can give whatever we want to give here, okay? So it says in this Kali, Yehi Kali Kala, in this age of Kali, so no other disciplines, the means, sadhanas are available for us. So neither yoga, yagna, japa, tapa, vrata, puja. So we might say, hey, all these are available. We still do that one. Why he is saying like that? Yes, it is available, but the way it is described in our scriptures, you will never be able to do in Kali Yuga. So you will not going to get the results that was supposed to give, in the other yugas where they were able to. I told you one time, even if you take the milk, okay, you take the milk, how impure milk we pour it on Lord Shiva. It's all processed and then this thing, and how the cow has been raised. Okay, and you expect to get the results that they used to get in that time? Never. See, like if I go into it, I get so, see the cow, when I have mentioned it so many times to you. We had a cow in our house as we were growing up. Okay, you have seen that cow, how my mom used to show her respect, her love to her. Every day she will go and wash the face and then put the haldi kumkum and put flowers and put for the 4 feet. Every day she would do that one. So you have this feeling of this worshipfulness. Okay, and when the cow herd comes, he will milk the cow. My mom did not milk the cow, and that it's not that all the milk is for you only. It is for the calf also you give. But you see here how the cows are made stand one next to each other, and they put these things, like this, and then how it squeezes. And every time I look at that one, I say, my childhood memories are so different. So like that. So that is the reason in Kali Yuga, whatever you do, Vrata, the Yagna, not Japa, okay? Anything you do, you will not get the results that is promised in the scriptures, because you're not able to do it that way. So that is why he's telling, Yehi Kali Kalana Sadhana Duja. So in this Kali Yuga, no other discipline is available. What is this discipline? It is only Ramanama Japa. Okay. Ramahi Sumira Gaya Ramahi Santata Suniya Rama Guna Gramahi. So Rama alone should be Sumira. So he alone should be remembered. And Gaya, okay, so he alone should be glorified also. Santata Suniya Rama Guna Gramahi. And one who listens to this grama, grama word normally we use it for a village, right? But grama also means a compilation of many, many things. Okay. So you can say a catalog. Okay. So here, grama, Gunagrama, he means a catalog of all these gunas of Sri Ramachandra ji. Santata Sunia. So the one should listen to when you to all the virtues of Sri Ramachandra ji here. So we say, I think children in this Balvihar, they learn this Navagraha Stotra. In that one there is that line, right? Namasmarana Dhanyopayam Nahi Pashyame Bhavatarane. So namas, other than this namasmarana, there's nothing else, that will make you help to cross over the bhava, and so like that. So namasmarana is very important. So, and namasmarana is so great. There is no caste bar, there is no age bar, there is no gender bar. So anyone can do this one. Yeah. जासु पतित पावन बड़बाना गावही कवि श्रुति संत पुराना ताही बजे मन तजी कुटिलाई राम बजे गति केही नहीं पाई. So Tulsidas ji is telling his mind, manataji kutilai, give up all this kutila, deception, this hypocrisy, the crookedness, and adore Bhagwan. And who is that Bhagwan? One who gavahi kavi shruti santa purana. So all the kavis, the Shrutis, and the Santa, and also the Purana that talks about, and who that Bhagavan is, Patita Pavana, the one who is the purifier of the fallen souls, the one who has fallen. He lifts them up. Rama Baje Kati Kehi Nahi Pai. So Tulsidas ji is asking a question, Kehi. So who has not secured that salvation, Gati? Okay, by worshipping Ramji. That means everybody will get the salvation by worshipping Sri Ramchandra ji. Okay, now you see Chanda. Okay. I'm going to say it in a different tune, whatever it is. Okay. पायन के ही गति पतित पावन राम भजि सुनु सठा मना गणिका अजामिल व्याद गीत गजादि कल तारे घना आबीर जमन की रात कस स्वपचादि अति अगरूप जे कही नाम बार कते पावन हो ही राम अमामिते रघुवंश भूषण चरित यह नर कहीं सुनई जे गावही कलिमल मल धोई बिनु श्रम राम धाम सिदावही सत पंच चौपाई मनोहर जानि जो नर उर धरे दारुण अविद्या पंच जनित विकार श्री रघुबर हरे सुंदर सुजान कृपा निधान अनाथ पर कर प्रीति जो सो एक राम अपाहित निर्वाण प्रद सम आन को जाकी कृपा लवले सते मति मंत तुलसीदास हूँ पायो परम विश्राम राम समा प्रभु नाही कहूँ मो समदीन न दीन हित तुम समान रघुबीर अस बिचारी रघुपम समनी हरहु विषम भव भीर कामिहि नारि पिआरि जिमि लोभिहि प्रिय जिमिदान तिमि रघुनाथ निरंतर प्रिय लागहु मोहि राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय पायिन केहि गति पतित पावन राम भजि सुनु सठमन कनिका अजामिल ब्याद गीत गजादि कलतोर tare ghana. So here Tulsidas ji is telling Satamana, hey, the foolish mind of me, think of it, because you have seen so many people have been saved by Bhagwan. So here he is giving 5 names here. So who are they? Ganika, the Pingala, the prostitute, and the Ajamila. He is that Brahmana who became he saw a man embracing a woman in the forest when he went to get some flowers and all that, and that scene never left him. So he just could not get back to his pious actions, and so then he brings her home, and then he has 11 children from her and all that. So the last child was Narayana, that's the name, and so he's dying, and he sees this the what is a Yama Dutas coming, and he screams, and he's screaming Narayana. He's calling his little child because he loved him so much. But as soon as he says Narayana, the Narayana's people, they come to take his life. So Ajamila. So that's a story. I cannot tell everybody's story here. So that is the Ajamila story. So he got saved only by saying Narayana at the time of death. Okay. And Vyada is Valmiki ji. And then Gida, we all know the Jatayu, the Pakshi, and Gaja, the elephant. We have seen that Gajendra Moksha here. And then Adi and others. Kala Tare Ghana. So Kala, they were Dushta, the niche people, wicked people. All these people were delivered by Bhagavan. That means, he rescued them and they got the moksha. And then he gives 5 different tribes of people here. Abhira, Jamana, Kirata, Kasa, Swapachadi, Ati, Agharupaje. So these are the 5 tribes that he's talking. Abhira is the one who like a husbandry, the one that they raise the sheep and the goats and all that, and they eat the sheep and goat, and also they sell the skin and all that. Those are the Abhiras. And then Yuvana are the beef eaters, and Kirata is the forest dwellers. They live by hunting and all that. Kasa, I couldn't find the meaning for that one. So it is one kind of a tribe. And Swapacha, Swapacha word comes even in Bhagavad Gita. There it is used for Chandalas and the dog eaters. So these are the 5 kind. And who are the Ati Agharupa? So they are the sins incarnated. So sins itself taking birth like that. So why do they say the sins incarnated? Because Bhagavan has given us Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Jnanendriyas, and we are supposed to use it for a good thing. And if we don't use it for good thing, and if we do it for the wrong thing, then we are the Agha, Ati Agarupa. So that we know that we'll be committing sins so much, so we become that sins incarnate. Okay, and Raghuvamsa Bhushana Charita, and also he says, see, these are the 5 people, and these are the 5 tribes. All were relieved by Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji. And Raghuvamsa Bhushana Charita Yahanara Kahahi Sunahi Jogavahi Kalimala Manomala Dhoyi Binu Shrama Ramadhama Siddhavahi. So here is the Palashruti. We are very much interested in knowing the Palashruti. What happens if I read it? Okay, because we want to know, right? So even in Lakshmi Ashtotram, we say Ekakale Pate Nityam, Dikale Yahe Pate Nityam, Trikale Pate Nityam, right? So like that. So here Tulsidas is telling what happens, if you listen, or you say it, or you study it, this Sri Ramcharitamanas, then what happens? Here he says actually who narrate, kahahi, and who sunahi, the one who listen to it. and Gavahi, the one who sings this Sri Ramcharitamanas, then they will dhoi, they will wash away all the sins of Kali Yuga. This that itself is enough, and also manomala, the sins of mind is also washed away. How hard you have to work for that to wash it? Binu Shrama. With no effort, you don't have to do anything. It will just get cleansed by itself there. Okay. Rama Dhama Siddhavahi. And also, not only that, you will also ascend to the abode of Sri Ramchandraji. Sata Pancha Chaupayi Manohara Janijo Nara Uradhare Daruna Abidya Pancha Janita Bikara Sri Raghu Varahare. So Sata Pancha, we all know that Sata Pancha, right? The whole Ramayana. That is not what they are talking here. Here you just take the numbers. Sata is 7, Pancha is 5. So he is telling here, you can take it as 7 times 5 or 7 plus 5 or whatever you want to take. Or you can just say 5 or 7 verses. That's all. Sata Pancha means, okay? And so Manohara Janijo Nara Uradhare. So in this whole Ramayana, even if you pick 5 to 7 verses, that makes you very close to your heart, and you keep it in your heart, and you keep repeating that one, and then what happens? Daruna Avidya, that intense ignorance, which is Panchajanita Vikara, caused by fivefold ignorance, all that will be washed away. I had lots of notes for that one, but I'm not going to go through that one. So it's a time up. So what is that 5 knots and all those? I had written it down, but we'll not go into that one. So Sri Raghuvara Hare. So best among this, Raghuvara means best among the Raghus. He will remove all this kind of the ignorance that is Bharan. If you keep a few verses in your heart, like we say, even Vishnu Sahasranama, you just remember just 2 or 3 of those namas, okay, and you keep on thinking about its meaning, and keep when you think about the meaning, you are thinking about Bhagavan also. Same way in the Sri Ramcharitamanas, you just pick, like a Manamusukai, Bhanukula, Bhanu, right? Right. So when that Sri Rama just smiled, whether he had to go to forest or they become the Yuvaraj. Okay. So he just smiled. So that is the way we should also feel, like, whatever happens, you just smile. So like that, if you remember a few chopais from the Sri Ramcharitamanas, because then, all kinds of the sorrows, everything will be removed from us also. Sundara Sujana Krupa Nidana Anata Parakara Pritijo. So Anata Parakara Pritijo. So who is that who showers love on this Anatha, helpless people? And who that one is Sundara, the beautiful, the handsome, infatuating figure of Bhagavan, Mohana Rupa, Sujana, all wise, Krupanidana, all merciful. So if there is anyone who is all beautiful, all wise, and all merciful, who is fond of the helpless one, so that is only one, so Ekarama. That is only Rama alone. Akamahita, he is Akamahita, means, you do something good to a person, and you expect something back. But Sri Ramchandraji, he blesses you, but he doesn't expect anything back from you. So Akamahita, so but he does good for you. Nirvana Pada, so the one who gives the liberation, Sama Anako, so equal to him. Who is there equal to Sri Ramchandraji? And then Jaki Krupa Lavalesate Mati Manda Tulasi Dasahu Payo Parama Vishramu Rama Samana Prabhu Nahi Kahu. So even with an iota of whose grace, Bhagavan's grace, even the dull-witted Tulsidas, he calls himself dull-witted, has found this supreme peace. So when a dull-witted Tulsidas can find it, everybody will be able to. So where he's saying, there is none other than Sri Ramchandraji who can really bless you with because even if you are fallen, he is going to hold your hand and make you stand. Soma Samadi Mo Samadina Dina Hita Tuma Samana Raghubira Asi Bichari Raghuvamsamani Haravu Bishama Bhava Bhira. Mo Samadina Dina Hita. So he is telling there is no one so miserable, Dina, as I, nor Dina Hita. So, or nor such a friend of the miserable like you. So he's telling that one. So he's calling himself is Dina. He's not even calling himself as Dasa. Okay. Yeah, so that is the humility of all the saints. Even Kanakdas ji, he says that, I am Dina and you are the Dani. So you are the giver, but I'm the Dina. Asa bichari Raghu Bamsamani Haravu Vishama Bhava Bhira. So realizing this one, Raghuvira Mani, the jewel of Raghu Vamsha, please remove the bondage of Vishama Bhava Bhira, terrible bondage of this samsara. So the next Doha is very popular and many times, it is misunderstood also. It says, Kamihi nari ari jimi, lobahi priya jimi, dam, Timi Raghunatha Nirantara Priya Lagahu Mohi Rama. So this is the last Doha of Sri Ramcharitamanas, and here Tulsidas ji is requesting for some boon. You give me this boon. And what is this boon that he is asking? He says, you be dear to me. Okay, how dear to me? Just like a woman is dear to a lustful man, or and as wealth is dear to a greedy person. So you might wonder, what is this one, Kamahi Nari Pyare? Why all this, all this after Shol Ramcharitmanas, why is he bringing this one? Okay, so no, this is the way to understand this one is, Kamahi Nari Pyare Jimmy means, as a woman is dear to a lustful man. See, in a relationship or whatever, it's not only the man who loves the woman also should love him. Then there is that feeling, so that is why Tulsidas is giving that example, saying, as much as I love you, Bhagavan, you also love me that much. That's all. Okay, that's all he is saying here. It is nothing to do with the lust or anything like that. As much as I love you, you also love me. Then maybe he thought, how can I demand that one? Telling, you love me too. Because he has so many devotees. And also another thing is, this lustfulness is only when there is this energy in the body. Okay, as a child, you are not lustful. Only in that youth and all, one person might, and then as you grow old, all that is also gone. So that means Tulsidas ji must be thinking, so this lustfulness is not permanent. So if I'm asking for Bhagavan, like, let me have this kind of a love, that means it is not eternal. It's not permanent. So he must have thought about it, and since so second one he says, okay, I don't want. No, one more time. Yeah, what I want is, Lobahi Priya Jimi Dama. So like the wealth is for a greedy person, how valuable it is, how much he wants it. So he says, yeah, that we also know that what is this comparison that he's here. Here you see a person who is greedy, he spends until his last minute thinking about his wealth only. Okay, and it is said the man who is thinking about the wealth all the time and dies, he is born as a snake the next life to guard his wealth. Okay, so here what he is telling here is, in all the lives that I'm going to take, let me have that love for you. That is the meaning that you have to take here. So when you read this one, Kamihi Nari Piyari Jimi, Lobahi Priya Jimi, Dhamma. So Bhagavan Tulsidas ji is asking for that eternal bhakti, eternal love towards Sri Ramchandra ji. Timi Raghunath Nirantara Piya Lagahu Mohi Rama. So and then the last is the Sanskritam shlokas. We'll just finish it up fast, okay? I'm sorry, I'm running also fast. Yat purvam prabhuna krutam sukavina shishambuna durgamam Srimad Rama Padabja Bhakti Manisham Prapyaitu Ramayanam मत्वा तद्रघुनाथ नाम निरतं स्वान्तस्तमशान्तये भाषाबद्धमिदं चकार तुलसी दासस्तथा मानसं पुण्यं पापहरं सदा शिवकरं विज्ञानभक्तिप्रदं मायामोहमलापहं सुविमलं प्रेमाम्बुपूरं शुभम् श्रीमद् रामचरितमानसमिदं भक्त्यावगाहन्ति ये ते संसारपतङ्गघोरकिरणैर्दह्यन्ति नो मानवः. So here it says, I'll just read it, okay? So the first two lines, Ramayana was composed long time ago, Yat Purvam, okay? Time immemorial by Sakavina, the Shrestha Kavi, the best of all the poets, and who is the Sri Shambhuna, prime Lord Shiva, Lord Shivji, and Tulsidas ji just this Ramayana is Durgamam. That means Durgamam means it's hard to understand, okay? And that which is hard to understand, that Ramayana was written by Lord Shiva. And why it was written with the object of developing unceasing devotion to the lotus feet of beautiful Sri Ramachandra ji. Srimad Rama Padambujam Bhakti Manisham. Okay. And then Matva Raghunatha. So why did Tulsidas ji wrote the Ramayana then? Matva Raghunatha Nama Niratam Swanta Tamas Shantaye Bhasha Baddhamidam Chakara Tulsi Dasas Tata Manasam. So he says, first he said in the beginning, he says Swanta Sukaya, to keep, for my own peace, I am writing this one. And here he says, to have that constant thought of Sri Ramchandraji, which is going to remove the ignorance of the people, I have composed this Sri Ramcharitamanas in Bhasha Baddha Midam Chakaram. So in the Awadhi language, the language of that that is locally spoken. So you can see, because in Kali Yuga, everybody does not know the Sanskritam. So if you say it in your local dialect, everybody will be able to understand. And this one, Punyam Papam Papaharam. So it removes all the the punyam. Punyam means this Sri Ramcharitamanas is punyam, virtuous. It removes all the evils. Sada Shivakaram always brings the auspiciousness. Sada Shiva, okay. Vignana Bhakti Pradam, it gives the knowledge and the devotion. Maya Moha Malapaham, so it wipes away the moha, the delusion, and then also the impurity, Malapaham. And this Sri Ramcharitamanas is Suvimalam. So it's not just purity, it is extremely pure. Prema Ambu Puram. So it is filled with the waters of love until to the brim. It is not halfway or anything like that. Shubham, it's always auspicious. Srimad Rama Charitra Manasamidam Bhaktya Vagahantiye Te Samsara Patanga Ghora Kirane Dahantite Mumar. So the one who, sings with devotion, this Sri Ramcharitamanas, for him, this Bhava Samsara, which is like the very scorching rays of sun, okay, that becomes very shitala. It becomes very cool, and he doesn't have to suffer through that one. So this is where the Sri Ramcharitamanas ends, and it says iti Srimad Ramacharitamanase sakala kali kalusha vidvamsane saptamaha sopana samaptaha. So here we should not say samaptaha means it ends. Okay, we should just say that it is completed. That's all. So here the seventh sopana, the step into the lake, okay, is completed here. That's all. So we should not never say, oh, it is completed, so close the book. So that is the reason when we finish reading the book, we never close it and put it back. So we start back again with the first two shlokas, saying that I'm going to read it again. So you never stop that one. And one more point that I wanted to tell you here, the Sri Ramcharitamanas start with Varnana Artha Sanghana. So it started with Va and it ends with Va, Manavaha. Okay, so it is said Vakara is known as Amruta Bija. We have so many bija letters. So why is the Amruta Bija? That is imperishable nectar. And this Sri Ramcharitamanas is also imperishable. It will, all the time it will be there. And for that Sri Ramcharitamanas, we have finished reading this one, but we have to read again and again and again. Okay. ओम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय. So go to the first page, please. वर्णानाम् अर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम्. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you for teaching.